800,000 new recruits have joined the North Korean ranks after the last test of their new and most powerful intercontinental ballistic missile, which, according to the military, has an estimated range of nearly 9,500 miles, enough to put all of the American territory within the attack range of Pyongyang's nuclear weapons. Today, you will understand the reasons for this sudden hostility and what the possible consequences of this growing aggressive posture against America, South Korea, and its allies might be. Despite being forbidden by the UN, Kim Jong Un's regime carried out the third launch of a long-range ballistic missile solely this year. It was the latest in a long series of more than 20 tests conducted in 2023. But why is North Korea so aggressive? Is there a risk of war breaking out on the Korean peninsula? Well, the seeds of all these problems were planted in June 1950, when Kim Il-sung, the grandfather of dictator Kim Jong Un, attacked South Korea after receiving guarantees of military support from Stalin and Mao Zedong. The communist attack from the north caught the South, supported by the United States and the UN, completely by surprise, forcing the troops to retreat to the southeast tip of the peninsula, to the so-called Pusan perimeter. The North Communists only did not win at that moment thanks to the tactical genius of General MacArthur, who in September of that year landed tens of thousands of soldiers in Incheon, in the rear of the North Korean advance. The war extended until July 1953, when the stalemate on the combat front led both allies to sign an armistice, putting the conflict on pause. Yes, it is just a pause. The Korean War has not yet officially ended, with both Koreas still in a formal state of war, and the only thing that separates the two countries from direct confrontation is the so-called demilitarized zone. A 124 by 2.5 mile long strip that divides the Korean peninsula in half. During the armistice, North Korea partnered with China and the USSR, and now those agreements go on with Russia, the successor to the Soviet state. While South Korea has worked to further strengthen its alliance with Washington, resulting today in the presence of nearly 30,000 American soldiers scattered across that country. From time to time, the U.S. and South Korea carry out joint military exercises to improve operational integration. Between 2018 and 2019, during the approach phase promoted by former President Trump, which involved personal meetings with dictator Kim Jong Un, the size of these exercises decreased considerably, all with the purpose of facilitating agreements and communication between the South and the North. Between 2020 and 2021, at the height of the pandemic, the size of the exercises remained greatly reduced, but since 2022 it has been increasing progressively, resulting now in March 2023 in the largest joint exercises in the last 8 years, involving tens of thousands of soldiers who conducted land, naval, and air maneuvers for 11 uninterrupted days. And as if that were not enough, Japan, North Korea's biggest rival after its southern neighbor, has resumed talks with the South Koreans, resuming negotiations for future defense agreements. Despite the United States, Japan, and South Korea asserting that the exercises and security agreements are merely defensive, the North Korean dictator claims that it is all a rehearsal for an invasion, and that is why he has ordered an increase in missile tests and the historic recruitment of nearly 800,000 new recruits. But as usual, the North Korean leader's allegations make no sense. After all, if America and South Korea did not invade before the North had nuclear weapons, why would they be preparing to invade now, at a time when Pyongyang has an estimated 40 nuclear warheads in its arsenal? This shows that Kim Jong Un's claims are nothing more than rhetoric to justify the increase of his nuclear arsenal. The truth is that North Korea has been acting as a mere pawn for years, while the real player, the one who benefits from these threats and public displays, keeps quiet, only pulling the strings. That's the magic of nuclear deterrence. As much as the Korean dictator loves to show his teeth and growl, he is not stupid enough to think a nuclear attack would go unanswered. Nuclear weaponry surely comes together with dangers and challenges. But it is undeniably one of the most efficient ways to prevent wars. Click this link to the right and understand the huge role these weapons play on today's political scenario.